1, go.
I can't believe Mor Zacharia made us choose that decade for this project.
What even happened during the 1970s?
Nothing, it's so boring. It's probably just a bunch of farmers messing around in the desert the entire time.
So annoying. Oh.
The Munich Olympic Games, 1972, September 5th. Just before dawn, 8 Palestinian gunmen slip into the Olympic Village and storm the Israeli quarters. The Palestinians kill 2 athletes almost immediately and take 9 other Israeli officials and athletes hostage. After a tense standoff lasting until early evening, the Germans fly the Palestinians and their hostages to an airport outside Munich. Germany never intends to let the Palestinians take off and stations 5 snipers around the airport. A massive firefight ensues, ending with 5 Palestinians dead, along with all the hostages and 1 German police officer. Chaos, disaster, death.
October 6, 1973. Egyptian and Syrian forces launch a coordinated military attack against Israel on Yom Kippur, as many of Israel's soldiers are away from their posts, observing the holiest day on the Jewish calendar. Taking the Israeli Defense Forces by surprise, Egyptian troops sweep deep into the Sinai Peninsula, while Syria struggles to throw occupying Israeli troops out of the Golan Heights. After several days, Israel fully mobilizes and counterattacks at heavy cost to soldiers and equipment, recapturing the Golan Heights. A ceasefire goes into effect on October 25, 1973.
Entebbe, June 27, 1976. Palestinian and German terrorists hijack an Air France aircraft. The hijackers land the plane at Benghazi, Libya, and fly from there to Entebbe, Uganda, where all non-Jewish passengers are freed. Israel tries to develop a dialogue with Ugandan President Idi Amin, who instead collaborates with the terrorists. Israel launches a secret operation. 4 transport aircrafts take off from Sharm el-Sheikh in Sinai en route to Entebbe. Israeli soldiers raid in the Entebbe airport, resulting in 5 Israeli casualties, most notably IDF officer Yonatan Yoni Netanyahu, brother of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. On the return flight, the planes land in Nairobi, Kenya for refueling and to attend to the fatally wounded with medical care, with much assistance and support from the Kenyans.
Washington, D.C., 1977. In a ceremony at the White House, Egyptian President Anwar el-Sadat and Israeli Prime Minister Menachem Begin sign a historic peace agreement, ending 3 decades of hostilities between Egypt and Israel and establishing diplomatic and commercial ties. Less than 2 years earlier, in an unprecedented move for an Arab leader, Sadat traveled to Jerusalem to seek a permanent peace settlement with Egypt's Jewish neighbor. Sadat's visit, in which he met with Begin and spoke before Israel's parliament, was met with outrage in most of the Arab world. In September 1978, the 2 leaders met again in the United States, where they negotiated an agreement with U.S. President Jimmy Carter at Camp David, Maryland. The Camp David Accords, the first peace agreement between the State of Israel and one of its Arab neighbors, laid the groundwork for diplomatic and commercial relations. 7 months later, a formal peace treaty was signed. For their achievement, Sadat and Begin were jointly awarded the 1978 Nobel Prize for Peace.
Whoa.
Well, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was so interesting. Wow, full of ups and downs, the 1970s sure were a wild ride. On to the next decade.
גולני שלי היא טורי אנשים, גולני שלי